I'm back. Rhodes Ranch for the Matrixx and Rhodes show, and it looks like we may have another property that's headed towards television that is going to be dead on arrival. Because Pedro Pascal was asked about The Last of Us. Of course, that is an adaptation that is coming based on a wildly popular video game in which everybody loved the first one. And then they Last Jedi, the second one. Now, for full disclosure, one of the shows I was hoping was going to end up being good was Halo. Well, I watched one episode, and it was a dumpster fire of epic proportions rolling downhill on a tire fire. It's terrible, and of course, they gave that blanket bullshit excuse, well, it's an alternate timeline. Oh, so you could fuck the property right in the keister by saying, conveniently, it was an alternate timeline, so we don't have to honor the original material. Gotcha. All right. Laziness of epic proportions. Now, for full disclosure, I really liked The Mandalorian. The Book of Boba Fett was not good. It wasn't disastrous, but it was not good. And it would have been really easy to have just been good. But they turned Boba Fett into damn near a pacifist in that show, and it wasn't good. It didn't honor the character. And that was a Favreau and Filoni property. Well, let's get to this. Pedro Pascal, I mean, he makes some statements here that clearly sends you into oh crap territory if you're a Last of Us fan. This is bounding into comics. The Last of Us star Pedro Pascal says he wanted to create a healthy distance between live action and the original game. That's your first clue to grab a trash can and immediately start projectile vomiting into it. Anytime these stars pull things out of their ass, like wanted to create a healthy distance between the original game and live action, why? Why do you want to continue to do this? Honor the game. Honor the character in the original game. Yes, play it like you are literally the character in the original game. It's not that hard. The usual red flags have begun to fly for HBO's upcoming live-action adaptation, The Last of Us, as series star Pedro Pascal has revealed that not only did he not engage with Naughty Dog's original works, great, but that he also, quote, wanted to create a healthy distance between his depiction of protagonist Joel Miller and the character's video game counterpart. That is never a good sign. The Mandalorian star spoke to the upcoming role in The Last of Us during a recent interview with GQ given in promotion of his latest project, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is about Nicolas Cage playing himself, and the trailer was actually kind of good, where plays in part a massive Nicolas Cage superfan whose invitation of the actor, his birthday, sets the events of the star's parody biography film in motion. As the interview drew to a close, GQ contributor Jack King broached the subject of the upcoming video game series by noting, quote, I am the biggest fan of The Last of Us. To which Pascal replied, quote, did you play the game? It's so sad. I haven't any skill to play it. Oh, man. And then, in only a matter of minutes before I had to hand it over to my nephew, he recalled, it really takes a specific kind of skill, and I don't have it. Really? You don't have the skill of a 10-year-old. Okay. Asked by King if he watched his nephew play through the whole thing, which, of course, considering you're playing the character, you hope you do actually watch that to the end. Pascal then admitted, I watched for as long as I was able to that day and then leave for Florida. Christ. I found Joel so impressive, I found the whole of it such visually impressive experience. And then I got worried that I would want to imitate too much, which I think could be right in some circumstances and mistake in others, he added, moving to reflect on his process and approaching the character. So I wanted to create a healthy distance, and for that, to be more in the hands of show co-writer Craig Mazin and game writer and show co-writer Neil Druckmann. Taking note of Pascal's admission that HBO's take on the series would be willingly separate from Naughty Dog's original vision, King inquired as to, quote, how close do you think the script sticks to the game, prompting Pascal to return the standard entertainment industry answer regarding wildly unfaithful adaptations. There's a very, very creative way of honoring what's important and also preserving what is iconic to the experience of the video game, and also to include things that you wouldn't necessarily expect. In other words, deviate off plan, Rian Johnson style, and immediately screw the property. Gotcha. And then directions that you would expect to go and might not. They're doing some really smart things is all I can say. He continued, it's similar to the way Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni treat The Mandalorian. I doubt that. In Maison and Druckmann are creating The Last of Us. It's in good hands because they love it so much. Well, clearly Neil created the game, but Craig loves it so much, the actor concluded. So it really is made for people that love it. And there's some very intense storytelling for people who might be less familiar. With similar answers given in response to similar questions in the lead up to such source material bastardizing live action productions as Paramount Plus's Halo, Netflix Cowboy Bebop, and even Amazon's Wheel of Time, fans of Joel and Ellie's quest for survival amongst the infected may be the next to have the stories and characters they love destroyed in a shallow attempt to reach a wider audience. The HBO's Last of Us is set to premiere in 2023. So, another one, it seems, could be headed towards a disastrous scrap heap. Why? Well, one thing that Hollywood doesn't seem like they're willing to do, and in this case, I'm going to be real, Pedro Pascal doesn't seem willing to put in the time to want to even familiarize himself with the game. You can't sit and watch somebody play through the game. You can't make time to do that even though you're playing a character from said game. I mean, holy shit, that's lazy. I mean, that's incredibly lazy getting to it. And I actually kind of like Pedro in most things. But this is a little concerning. The Last of Us sounds like it's headed towards Last Jedi territory, if you ask me. Like I said, look, I only watched one episode of Halo, okay? It was terrible. I mean, how the hell Master Chief takes off his helmet at the end of the first episode? Are you shitting me? Nah. And here we are with The Last of Us barreling down the hill of the same road. If you're a Last of Us fan, well, you can just bend over and kiss your ass goodbye when it comes to enjoying most likely the live adaptation property of this game. Pedro Pascal or any others are not. When they say a healthy distance, that means they're headed down the road that you're not expecting them to follow. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.